Hello and welcome to a session I'm calling Goddess on Earth. This is going to incorporate the yoga goddess pose and many different variations. All you need is a mat, and we will begin in a wide stance. Feet are wider than the hips. External rotation throughout the legs. From this goddess pose, many and various different exercises and poses will occur. We will keep returning to our goddess pose as our foundational pose. Open those arms out wide to the side, palms up. Bend the knees and drop the hips. Those arms are going to lengthen up to the sky. Interlace the palms up to the sky and let's pulse and pulse. Little bend at the knees. Drop hips and drop hips. Keep shoulders on top of the hips and send that into a side bend. Maintain your legs. Lateral flexion to one side, back to the center, other side, back to the center. Hands on hips. Let's start some pelvic tilts and pelvic tucks, looking up to the sky and down to the ground as we move our pelvis and the lower spine, freeing up space in the hips. And hands right on top of those thighs. Drop the hips even lower and just start to sway side to side, dropping one shoulder forward and twisting the other way, dropping the other shoulder forward. Looking over that back shoulder up to the sky. And switch, alternating side to side. And take this into a lunge from side to side, shoulders on top of hips, hands on hips. Start to incorporate a shoulder roll to the same side that you're bending the knee, and that shoulder roll is going to open up into an arm circle, reaching to the side you're bending towards. Sweeping the arm across the body. Let's land in a side angle pose, elbow on top of the knee, and that top arm is going to bend and stretch overhead. Looking up to the sky, breathing, and dropping and lifting that top arm, shoulder mobility. Let the hips strengthen as they maintain side angle pose. And let's switch sides, keeping that external rotation on one side and the other leg and foot is parallel, toes forward. Top arm bend and stretch 4 times. Then keep the top arm straight as it sweeps down to the hip and up and overhead 4 times. Keep legs still, stabilized and strengthening. Breathe in. Return to the center, external rotation. Let's bring the hands down to the ground and bending and stretching the legs. So knees out to the side and then straightening tailbone to the sky. As knees bend, we can look forward, and as legs straighten, we can drop the head into that forward bend. Inhale, bend, exhale, stretch. Heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. And let's drop hips even lower. Deep squat pose. Elbows into the knees. I have a little audience here today. It's very motivating. Inhale, come all the way up. Let's lift the heels and balance with open arms, palms to the sky, balance and power pose, and breathe. Interlace fingers behind you and let's drop forward. Feet are parallel, legs are straight. Breathe into hamstrings and take the head side to side. Release the arms. External rotation in the legs again, and let's twist, reaching one arm up to the sky, other hand pressing down to the ground. Rotate the trunk of the body, looking up as you reach up and looking down as you return the hand to the ground. Add a bend in the knee, the same side that you're reaching up. And now keep the arms and add a bend in the knee to the opposite leg as you're reaching up. Coordination and concentration. What every goddess needs in her life. And we'll bring toes forward, hands on hips. Let's come all the way up to standing. External rotation in both legs. And back to our plie from ballet world. 3 pulses down. Exhale, straighten legs and arms lift to the sky. Pulse, 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 and lift. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, pulse and pulse and pulse and reach. Keep that going. Heels heavy. Tailbone drops. Let's stay halfway down here. Little mudra connecting thumb and index finger as we twist from side to side. Palms up. Drop hips a little lower if you can. And we're going to pop the heel of the leg that we're twisting towards. Balance. Focus. That's what it takes to be a goddess. And to the center pop, both heels as the arms lift overhead. Keep knees bent and hips low. Let's connect those wrists and heels stay popped as we pulse and pulse and pulse it out. One foot pointing forward. We'll take this into triangle pose, bringing the hand to the shin, ankle, top of the foot or the floor. And let's rotate, looking down, dropping that top arm, and then looking up as we lift the top arm to the sky. Stay here and reach that top arm overhead and let it begin some big arm circles, heart openers, shoulder mobilizers, legs straight. Folding that top hand behind the low back so it wraps into the opposite inner thigh. Bring your bottom hand up higher to the shin, and if you can, let's reach that bottom arm forward, looking at the palm before releasing down into triangle pose, dropping that top arm as far back as it will go. Hand to the back of the head. Let's lean back into this triangle pose. Breath in. And folding into that leg, rotating to look forward. Let's bend that knee. Build it back up to the center. Leg number 2. Keeping that external rotation on the leg we're folding over, both legs straight. Let's rotate, opening up and looking down, lowering the hand down. Breath stays flowing, top arm reaching overhead, and let's draw big circles. Letting the head and neck follow that revolution of the arm. Stay here at the top and fold that top hand behind the low back so fingers weave into the opposite inner thigh. Come up a little higher, bottom hand to the shin, and if you can, use your core more and float that bottom arm looking to the palm. Stay calm. And find triangle pose again. Bringing that hand to the back of the head, let's lean back. Start to fold into that leg, rotating towards the leg, bending that knee, and coming back to the center. Good job. External rotation. Let's pop one heel and then the other, hands on hips. Alternate side to side. Try both heels at the same time, popping and a dropping, a popping and a dropping. Keep the heels lifted. Straighten the legs, drop heels, bend the knees. We go heels, straighten the legs, drop the heels, bend the knees. Try 4 of those, and then we'll reverse. Straighten legs, pop heels, bend knees, drop heels. Pop heels, bend, drop and straighten 4 times. Hold the heels up, arms into a T, and let's pulse it out here. Tuck the tailbone and tighten the tummy. Keep one heel up as you continue those pulses, V-shape arms. Other heel pops up now and interlace the fingers, palms to the sky as we pulse. Bring those arms in front of you, both heels down, but we're lifting the toes and the balls of the feet on the way up. Little lift and lift and lift and lift. Flat feet, hands right on top of those quads. Let's drop hips low and just take a breath here. Coming up to standing. Bending the knees, open those arms into a T shape. And let's add some tree hugger arms. So we're rounding, fingertips barely touch in front and then open. Keep those elbows up, drop the hips lower if you can, knees wider. And let's add a little hug and side bend, opening those arms back to the center. Hug, side bend the other way, and spill the arms up and overhead, sweeping open to the center. Hug, side bend, and sweeping open to the center. Reach over to the side. And just start to lunge the legs, keeping the side bend, reaching to the same side. It's the legs that are changing. Hold here, one knee bent, other leg straight. And now bend the other knee and reach both arms over that straight leg, looking up, and bring it back to the center. Bending the other knee and reaching over that leg. Let's switch the bend, lunging side to side, keeping that top arm in place. And then hold here, knee bent, reaching over that bent knee. Switch the legs, other knee is bent, and both arms are now reaching over the straight leg. Come back to the center, both legs straight. Float the heels, open the arms a little bit behind you, chest opener, shoulder opener, lift the gaze and the arms and the heels and the abdomen. Bend the knees, hands to back of the head. Tip it back, opening up the heart, the throat, the gaze to the sky. Bring it back to center and add a set of pulses here. Drop and pulse and pulse. Stay low, open the arms to a T shape with fingertips lifted. Hold and breathe. Pop the heels, open the palms higher, abdominals deeper. And drop the heels and find eagle arms. Wrapping the arms in front of you, let's parallel and straighten those legs into a forward fold. Let the arms drop to the ground. Feel the stretch in the shoulders. Stay calm and release those hands, coming all the way up to standing. And external rotation, drop the hips, open the arms. Reach the palms a little higher, looking up, breathing in. Stay still, calm and focused. And now arm number 2 is on the bottom. Eagle arms, drop hips low, then straighten parallel the legs and fold over. Hips high, arms heavy. Breath in. Release the arms. Let the hands drop to the mat and elbows are straightening and bending. Chest is lifting and lowering. External rotation on one leg, and let's reach over to that leg and bend the opposite knee. Bend and straighten that opposite leg. Bend and straighten 4 times, and then take a deeper bend. As one leg stays straight, foot flexed, the other knee bent, heel popped. You can also keep the heel down to the ground. The knee that's bent, that same side arm is going to open, reaching to the side. You can look at that open palm. And bring it back to the center. Reaching over to the other side, opposite knee is going to bend and straighten as you maintain that reach and that stretch 4 times. And then bend the knee even deeper. Let that heel pop. Opposite foot flex. Chest lifted, neutral spine. Stay calm as you breathe into the inner thighs, hips and pelvis. The knee that's bent, that same arm is going to reach open to the side, looking to the side. Move gracefully into a seated straddle pose. Legs wide, feet flexed. Twisting to one side, look behind you, stay tall and connected to your posture. Shoulders on top of hips. Crown of the head lifts to the sky, sitting bones planting to the ground. Once you've switched sides in that twist, we're going to come straight through the center, dropping elbows down. Let the head drop, shake it out side to side. If you can, you'll just walk the arms a little further forward. Chest drops lower. Maybe forehead drops. Lots of work for those inner thighs with all that goddess posing. And let's come up and over one leg, just stretching out through the side body. Maybe top fingertips can tap the toes before switching to side number 2. A little toe tap. Back to the center. We'll roll those shoulders and bring the bottoms of the feet together. From a goddess to a butterfly. Let's inhale, arms up, and exhale, lower down. Inhale, floating up. Exhale, fluttering down. We can fold forward, reaching hard up and over the toes, extending the arms, letting the head drop, and stay here and breathe into it. Thank you for joining me on this journey from goddess to butterfly, and congratulations, you have done it. Until next time.